Hello, good morning, and welcome to Morning Brew on Hughes of the World. I'm Graham Hughes. This is the world, I guess. Or at least some of it. It's 20 degrees here in Durham at the moment in my refrigerator house. It was built in the Victorian age when they didn't have refrigerators, so they built a whole house instead to keep things cool. Let me know how you're doing this morning. If you want to jump into the chat, dead easy to do. Just hit the subscribe button, wait for 1 minute. Don't be a troll. We've got Diz in the chat. We've got Chris C. Got Martin Harrow. Got Graham Hallow. Got Veg Picey. Dizzy Dizzle is in there as well. Acro Dave. Got SG in there. Diz, obviously. Hey Diz, how you doing? We've got Jenny Davis in there as well. Welcome. It's now down to 19 degrees now. I must have wafted some cool air with my hand or my hat or something. Don't know quite what happened there. Anyway, we've got a lot of news to get through this morning. I'm Graham Hughes. Here's the news. But I want to talk first of all about Andy Burnham and what we might be, cautiously looking forward to once he becomes Prime Minister in a couple of weeks' time. One thing that caught my attention yesterday was this idea of moving parts of number 10 to Manchester, number 10 Downing Street, moving to Manchester. Now, there's some idiots going, oh, does this mean that they're going to have to pay politicians to have a house in their constituency and then a house in London and then a house in London, in Manchester? No, that's not how it works. Most of the people in number 10 are not politicians, they're not MPs. That's the cabinet, which meets once a week on Tuesdays, which will be still in London, because that's where Parliament is. But like the day-to-day stuff, civil servants running the country, that can be done from Manchester. And yes, I will be applying for a job, I'm pretty sure. On time for once, I'm going to give people the wrong impression, says Acro Dave. Well, I was a minute late or so, but I did have to make myself a cup of coffee. And that's my excuse. And some ice water. You can hear the ice rattling around in there. Which took a minute. I've also got some low-fat tropical fruit. I'm not getting sponsored by this, so I'm not going to say it. Hey, listen, right? I'm gonna set up the confetti cannon in a moment. Oh, it's good stuff, that. It's like a yogurt drink. Oh, that is good. In lieu of breakfast. I never have time to make breakfast in the morning. It's one of those things, isn't it? Just check. According to my Echo Dot in the kitchen, that's indoor temperature is 30 degrees. Jesus. That is ridiculous. That's hotter than it usually is on my island. My island's about 28 degrees normally, most of the time, which is 82 degrees Fahrenheit in old money. So yeah, Andy Burnham talking about moving parts of the PM's operation to Manchester if he becomes Prime Minister next month, which he is going to, because he's going to run unopposed. You'd have to be mad to oppose him at the moment. I'm just trying to find where I put my hand stuff. I'd like Nivea Soft hand stuff. My hands are really dry. Probably because of all this heat. Oh God, I can't find it. This is very unprofessional. I need like a professional hand cream giver outer. Is that an actual thing? I'm having a cappuccino. It's like a crappuccino. It's like a cappuccino but cheap. Just trying to think like the cappuccino that they have in the Blackadder Goes Forth. Oof, something I'm thinking about. Anyway, the moving part to number 10 to Manchester, I really like this idea. Even though it's Manchester and it should be Liverpool, that's fine. It's fine. It's Manchester, whatever. It's close enough to Liverpool. Although we're going to have a capital, second capital, first capital even. It should be Liverpool. And the reason being, you can get to Liverpool from every one of the other capitals of the British Isles, of the United Kingdom, within 4 hours on the train, except for Belfast, obviously. So, but Belfast, there is a ferry that runs from Belfast to Liverpool. There's no ferry that runs from Belfast to Manchester, or London, or Doncaster. So yeah, it's another optional closed day, says Diz. Not the sprinklers. A bit early for the joggers here, but I'm here for it. Today's excuse to shower and stay naked, says Martin. Yeah, just don't go on YouTube if you plan to do that, because you get into trouble. Now I'm thinking, oh Christ, something just fell out. Oh, it's my tripod. I'm thinking that when I went to Liverpool, see, I'm just thinking on my feet here. When I went to Liverpool, I probably took my hand cream with me. So it might be in my backpack. So I'm just having a quick look. I'm going to rummage round. It's nice to have a rummage round now and again, isn't it? God, they're on to me. Where's the bloody... Got like all this equipment. Got like little mic. It's got no stand there. No. It's not good, is it? Lold is a bit early for the joggers. Oh well. It's gonna have to have dry hands, dry uncomfortable hands. I hope they don't touch anything that like like that microfiber stuff. Anyway, sorry, we're talking about moving to Manchester. Yeah. So Burnham has long argued that the UK's regional inequality is linked to the concentration of power, political power in London. So if I wanted to get a job helping out with comms for the government, I'd have to live in London. There's no two ways about it. I couldn't do it from up north. The previous Burnham and Steve Rotherham, the Metro Mayor of Liverpool, proposals included devolved settlements for every UK area and basic law aimed at equalising living standards. And the former Bank of England economist Anthony Haldane has advised creating a Northern Growth Ministry and splitting parts of the Treasury. But Burnham hasn't gone quite that far yet, but I'm hoping that he will. And don't get me wrong. I mean, there are parts of the government that are all spread out all over the country. Like there's a big government thing in Darlington, just down the road from me. There's in Liverpool, up in Bootle, you've got the Health and Safety Executive based in Bootle. If you go all the way up to Crosby, that's where the Home Office have a big. Is it the Home Office or the Foreign? One of them. I think it's the Home Office. Have a big office there. So there are like bits of the civil service that are already split all over the UK, but not much in terms of the executive, which is the interesting bit for this, as far as I'm concerned. I need to load up the confetti cannon, don't I? Come on then, let's do it. Let's go for it. Right, 1 second. So what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea moving bits of number 10 to Manchester? Not all of it. They're not going to dismantle the building. I mean, this will be how it's reported in the Sun and the Mail and the Express and the Telegraph, and be like, oh my God, he's going to dismantle number 10 and take it to Manchester. But what do you think? I mean, even people down in the south, everyone's talking about how hot it is. Just had a notification from AO to tell me AC is back in stock. Got to look, they sold out without minutes. Whoa, the Toffs won't take this line down. Yeah, Irish Ferry goes from Birkenhead, doesn't it? There's one that comes to Liverpool that comes from Dublin, and the Belfast one comes into Birkenhead. I may sound like a Scouser, but do not be misled. I do not come from Liverpool. I come from Birkenhead. So yes, I like this idea. The 9 existing departments are already combining functions and a new economic campus in Darlington planned as a permanent base for 1,600 civil servants. There's already stuff there. So this is sort of going down that route of devolution, moving all the concentrated stuff out of London, because London gets everything. London gets the best. It gets best food. It gets the best transport system. It gets the best cultural events. I mean, it just sucks all the life out the rest of the country. It really does. It's like a fucking cultural vampire, economic vampire. Like that. That's London for you. That there London with its ridiculously high rents. So yeah. Indeed. I would like to know why Nigel Farage hasn't been arrested, but we'll get back to that. We're talking about Manchesterism. This is Burnham's policy direction. There was a Labour-aligned group called Mainstream, which is published, I think, on Monday, called The Productive State, a Framework for Manchesterism. And they link Manchesterism to devolved growth, public ownership, democratic reform, and wealth taxation. Burnham has backed stronger public control in energy, water, housing, and transport, as well as this strong push towards devolution. And the B network, these publicly regulated bus services run by private operators with capped £2 fares, is something that would be brilliant if you could roll that out across the nation and have free bus days when the buses, you don't have to pay for it. He's already called for the biggest council house rebuilding programme since the Second World War. He's suggested diverting the existing 39 billion that's been put aside, not for paying off the EU for all the pensions and things that we had to, we were on the hook for. That money, that 39 billion, that's gone. That was what the Brexiters who voted for Brexit made us give to the EU for leaving. And we paid it after Boris Johnson saying he wouldn't pay it, but then he did with our money, because it wasn't his money. I'm sure if it was his money, he wouldn't have paid it, but it was our money. So just like Trump, he's quite happy. He's quite happy to pay out there. But yeah, 39 billion pounds on affordable housing towards social rent houses, so houses that you pay rent to the council for rather than to a local sheriff landlord. Trump calls Burnham a town mayor who's extremely liberal, complaining he's unlikely to open up the North Sea. Yes, he is unlikely, but there's no opening up of the North Sea. There's a couple of puddles of oil left, which wouldn't come online for 10 years, and there's only a bit left. It's completely pointless. Absolutely pointless. It's like saying, well, there's coal. There's coal still under the hills here in Durham. Yeah, but it's that hard to get to. Just leave it there. Just leave it there. We don't need it. Get it cheaper elsewhere. It's more expensive to dig our own coal than to just buy it from Argentina or Australia. The House of Westminster are in chronic decay, physically and metaphorically. Moving away from London might turn it into a museum instead of the current chamber of government. Last I saw of the old Hacienda building, it was a yacht showroom. That's depressing, isn't it? I was going to make a Factory Records joke for the title of this video. I was going to call it Fact 10, Fact 10, FAC 10. But I don't know if anyone will get the joke. Number 10, but it's fact. I don't trust Burnham, says one Ram Misses. He blows with the wind. Okay. Simon says Baroness Philippa Stroud, who organised the Eurofast meeting in London Olympia, isn't on the private school list. Oh, should she be on the list, Simon Smith? Should we put Baroness Philippa Stroud? Well, do you know who else I need to put on the list? The advisor to Baroness Stroud, Conservative peer. The daughter of a nurse and an international banker. She went to St. Catherine's School, Bramley. Yeah, the new advisor, so the new McSweeney for Burnham is private school mafia. Private school, you just can't get away from them. They're just everywhere. Got their little grubby little claws in every part, every facet of everyday life. Went to private school. Hacienda, same shape, now flats. Yeah. I went to the Hacienda in 1990, loved it, says Black Dot Dot. Hey, I never went to the actual Hacienda, but I went to a recreation of the Hacienda, which was put together in a warehouse in Ancoats for the movie 24-Hour Party People with Steve Coogan. And we were invited along to be part of the party people in there. It was free drinks all night. And at one point I was sitting there and they had the actors who were playing the Happy Mondays on the left of me. And then to the right of me, the actual Happy Mondays sitting in a little U-shaped booth. Brilliant. No one seriously wants streeting-ism. Streetism, we've gone. Don't want that all over your face, do you? They need a modern parliament building and maybe they would behave. No, I don't think so. I think, Gillian, I think it's down to the individual politicians, I really do. So yeah, off my tits, lol. says Daylight M talking about the hacienda. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just to mention about that thing about politicians changing their minds over time, I quite like that. I think that stubborn old goats who never change their mind about anything, even decades later, even when the entirety of the world has changed, is just, I don't know, it's not very encouraging. I like the idea of the Hollywood idea. I know it's not real, but the Hollywood ideal that people can change, that people can become better people over time by changing. It's the narrative spun by pretty much every Hollywood movie in the history of the world. Along with somebody wants something and they're having trouble getting it. There you go. That's my elevator pitch for every movie that's ever been made. Somebody wants something and they're having trouble getting it. But yeah, so back to Burnham. I mean, the job he did getting the second the proper Hillsborough inquiry was phenomenal. He's done really good work in Manchester. It's not just the B network. He's brought in loads of investments into Manchester. And although I fucking hate high rises and boxes and new buildings everywhere, he has. Look at the skyline of Manchester now. Compare it with 9 years ago before he became mayor, and it's completely different. It's completely changed. It's it's one of the things I do like about the new crop of skyscrapers that have grown in Manchester over the last few years is the fact that they kind of drown out that disgusting Beetham Tower, which is the most disgusting piece of human detritus that has ever graced the surface of the planet. I mean, it's just so awful, and it upset in the same way that an upside down Union flag really, really upsets me, especially when it's like really tatty and halfway up a lamppost. This Beetham Tower, it's kind of narrow at the bottom. It's a box, of course. It's a box. Everything's a box these days, but like it's a narrow bit at the bottom, and then it's got like a ledge that comes out, and then it gets bigger at the top, so it looks like it could topple, and it puts me on edge. It's like I get really funny about when someone's got a glass close to the edge of a table. I always have to push it in a couple of inches just in case, sharp elbows onto the floor. I get worried. I get needlessly worried about things. And then as if to sort of balance this Jenga tower out, they've got like a fence at the top of it on the opposing side to where the lip is, or the ledge, or whatever, the inverted ledge. On the top of it is like a metal fence, like an ugly metal fence, like something that would go around, I don't know, a temporary festival, or the carnies have turned up and set up a little, fucking ghost train. They put this temporary fence. It looks like, and when it first opened, this stupid fence that they had at the top used to whistle. It used to make this noise because the wind would whip through it, and it would create this certain frequency. And it was really, really unpleasant. It was like a brown note for like the whole of Manchester city centre. Shit it. But since Burnham got in, there's been a lot more of these shitty buildings. Well, I think they're shitty. Your mileage may vary. You might like the clean straight lines. They may appeal to you, but for me, they're anathema. I fucking hate them. There's nothing in nature that's a clean straight line. Even the Giant's Causeway, which is the closest you can get to sort of geometric patterns in nature, you think about a bee's nest, a beehive. Oh, beehive. You've got those shapes repeated over and over again, but they're all different. They're all a different level. They're all there's each one is unique. Each one's a different color. Each one's a different, but yeah, like a tree with its leaves. All the leaves have got the same pattern, basic pattern, but they're all different sizes. They're all different colors. They're all different positions on the tree, and I like that. That's organic to me. There's nothing. There's no straight lines in nature. So I find them an affront. I know I'm one angry pagan. If you're watching, you'll agree with me on this one. But yeah. So much so that honestly, I know. I talked about this before. Modern architecture, it doesn't just leave me cold. It actually makes me angry, because it depresses the fuck out of people. And life's hard enough. Why are you making them look at these horrible grey boxes on a rainy, drizzly Wednesday morning in January? Well, why are you doing this to people? It's cruel. But there you go. Give me some curves. Although I gotta say, I don't even like the bloody butt plug. What's it called? No, sorry, the gherkin. It looks more. Look, I've seen some gherkins, right? They tend to be a little bit sort of curved. Little curved gherkin. Yeah, so have a little bit of a curve on a gherkin. The gherkin doesn't look, or one St. Mary's axe or whatever it's called, it doesn't look like a gherkin. It does look like a butt plug, though. It looks like a giant fucking butt plug. But modern architecture, right? Anyway, shit it. But yes, going back to the social care. Sorry, Andy Burnham. He said on social care he wants to replace inheritance tax with a national care levy, which is interesting. Also, he supports reviving the Birmingham to Manchester leg of HS2 and funding Northern Powerhouse Rail, which for me, Northern Powerhouse Rail is becoming like carbon capture or fucking hydrogen fuel cells. It's like this tech or nuclear fusion. It's just round the corner, Graham. Just give it 2 years. I've seen a video on YouTube. I've seen a thing on Facebook. It's coming. Anyway, hey, I tell you what, right? I'm not angling. I'm not angling for confetti here, but I've now monetized my Facebook, sorry. And now I get money. I get money for just shit posting. Because obviously setting all this up and thinking about what to say and doing me notes and obviously the equipment that I need to make this all work, the microphone, camera and everything, and knowing how to use everything so if things go tits up, which they sometimes do when you're doing stuff live. I know I generally know how to fix it within a few minutes, generally. But compare that, bang for your buck for me writing Farage is a criminal twat and he should be in jail. And then I'm making money out of that. I'm making money. Like, I get money off you. And it's not a lot. It's not like I'm going to be earning Bruce. It's not like I can live off it or anything. But it's like an extra $5. I've written something. Like, something that I actually believe. Like Nigel Farage is guilty of breaking the 2010 Bribery Act. And someone said, but Graham, he's been investigated. He's been investigated by the Commons. No, I don't give a fuck about being investigated by Parliament. I want him investigated by the police. This isn't to do with parliamentary standards or conduct or anything. This is a criminal matter. This is a criminal matter as far as I'm concerned. He has broken. I've had a look at it. I've had a look at the 2010 Bribery Act, and Nigel Farage 100% is guilty of breaking that law. 10 years in jail. 10 years. 10 fucking years. And Christopher Harborne as well. He's also guilty of it. Now, he's in Thailand, and I don't know what the bribery charges are there. But if you're in Britain and you bribe someone in a foreign country, you get done. And if he gets done, Christopher Harborne. I hear the Thai jails are lovely this time of year. And the height of summer. Enjoy sleeping on the floor with the cockroaches. Makes a change from giving them 5 million quid, eh? Oh. No, but seriously, these fuckers should be in jail, and if we don't jail them, we're going to fall down the same fucking fall into the same trap as America, who failed to go after Donald Trump when they had the chance for all the incredible fucking crimes. The criminality of that man knows no fucking bounds, and now he is the President of America and stealing all its money and making out like a bandit. Somebody needs to make a complaint. Well, let's do it. Why isn't it doing it? Farage needs to be arrested, his devices seized and forensically examined. Yep, absolutely. Well, Farage makes enough money, so why not? I hope that's what happens, but I suspect it will prove difficult to administer. Why, Gillian? I mean, this is what I don't know. If someone can explain to me, and I know it's difficult, you've only got a few words here, but can someone explain to me why he hasn't been arrested? Because I don't understand. I've had a look at the Bribery Act, and it's pretty fucking clear that he was given a fucking bribe. Do you know what I mean? It is an offence. 2010 guidance, right? The details are offering, promising, or giving a bribe to another person, requesting, agreeing to receive, or accepting a bribe. Bribery of a foreign non-UK public official, and failure by commercial organisations to prevent bribery committed by their associated persons or to obtain or retain business or an advantage in the conduct of business. And here's where it gets really juicy. It's talking about business there, not necessarily talking about politics. Well, he wasn't in office at the time, but he was the sole proprietor of Refuck PLC, the limited company, Reform UK Limited at the time. So you can get him on both. You can get him on misconduct in public office because it was a year before it was in the 12 months before he stood for office, and also we can do him on commercial grounds. There's two things here, and also failure by commercial organisations. Refuck was a commercial organisation at the time. This could take down Refuck as well. Can someone tell me why it's not happening? Please tell me. I'm honestly, I'm going out my fucking mind here, because when Trump was running around going, oh yeah, I committed that massive crime where I told all these people to go and invade fucking Parliament and stamp on the heads of police officers and lead to the deaths of 9 people and lead to the injuries to 150 police officers and damages worth $3 million to our Capitol building, our Parliament building in America. Yeah. Nothing. Fucking nothing. And we should have a parliamentary inquiry, they said. We should have a parliamentary inquiry and that'll sort it out. We'll impeach him. Okay, cool. And where does that go? Well, we decide to impeach him, and then we spend hours and hours, years and years, months, decades, whatever, listening to the evidence, and we say, yep, this should definitely go to the Senate, where we need a supermajority to actually convict him of a crime. A supermajority. Okay, so you've got a jury there, and you need 9 of them to out the 12 to say, yeah, he needs to go to jail. Yeah. And 6 of the jurists are literally members of Trump's family. Yeah, literally members of his family. We've got his mom, his dad, we've got his 2 kids, we've got his sister wife, his actual wife. All of them. We've got them all. 6 of them. Okay, the maths isn't mathing here, as the Americans might say. So, hang on. You've got a jury. I know I'm simplifying it here. You've got a jury, yeah. How many people in the jury? 100. Okay. And how many people in that jury's jobs depend on Trump not going to jail? Oh, about 50 of them. Half of them. Okay. Do we need just 50 and then we can convict him? 51? Maybe we could get like a couple of Republicans to go along with it. Nah, sorry, mate. You need a supermajority of 60 out of 100. Oh, well, let's just hope for the best, eh? Fuck that shit. Put the cunt in jail. Put him in jail. Criminal charges, criminal investigation. Put him in jail. Let's go, says Martin Harrow. Couldn't agree enough. Thank you very much for the first super chat of this Thursday morning. It is Thursday, the 25th of June, 2026. There is a heat warning in effect across Britain. Please stay cool. Because deep down, Farage's establishment, well, it's not even deep down, he's just establishment. We've established that. So anyone can report Farage. I don't know. In the 12 months before he was an MP, Farage was CEO of Reform UK Limited, so he was still involved in politics despite his blustering to the contrary. Yeah, and also in charge of a company. So both of those things come down. I mean, and also the size of the bribe, 5 million. Don't forget, that guy, the Refuck guy who was in charge in Wales, who went down for 10 years for treason. He took money from the Russians. He took about 30 grand. I mean, that's fuck all. That's like a year's wages for most of us. Farage got 20 houses worth of money. 20 fucking houses. There you go, mate. Have 20 houses. And I mean, is it going to be that difficult to prove in a court of law that he went forward with a manifesto that promised to cut regulation in crypto, to make the Bank of England invest in crypto? That's part of their manifesto. And the guy who gave him the money is a crypto billionaire. who has, I don't know, what one might call a vested interest. I mean, come on. I fear Farage will get over it. Bribery and corruption in Thailand is punishment by life in prison or even hanging. Oh, okay. Oof. Well, I'm not a supporter of the death penalty. But if that's their way, if you're gonna change your name to a Thai name and live there, I suppose you've got to roll with the punches, I guess. If a bin man accepts tips from residents, they are sacked on the spot and prosecuted for accepting a bribe and corruption. I've seen it happen on several occasions. Fucking hell. Acro Dave, in the 12 months before his MP, I've read that one. Need to know if money was Christopher Harborne or he was a conduit for funds for other people. Farage, colleague, was funded by Russia. Harborne, Bannon and Thiel were supporting Brexit. James, I don't think it matters. I just think it matters that Christopher Harborne, crypto billionaire, gives 5 million to a guy who's going to run for Parliament, leader of a party, leader of the owner of Refuck UK at the time, Limited. And now, and then they went into the election specifically saying that they wanted the Bank of England to take our money, the nation's wealth, and invest it in crypto. So, I mean, this guy was a blancmange salesman who gave fucking Nigel Farage 5 million. And then in his manifesto, it said, we are going to get the Bank of England to put millions of British pounds into blancmange. I mean, it is a straight up 5 million quid pro quo. It's as simple as that. And we don't, in America, when they impeached Trump the first time and they were putting it through Parliament, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit all the way. We have a criminal fucking justice system that we built up over 1,000 fucking years to deal with this shit. It's corruption, it's bribery in plain sight. And he's going on the radio, giving interviews. He's going on the BBC and like, oh, how's it going today? Oh, yeah, I'm all right. Fucking hell. There has to be a leadership election, says California Dream. Why? Anointing someone who's been out of Parliament for 2 seasons, it's all wrong. Why? It's more than shabby. Why? I don't want an inevitable return of the Tories. Well, California Dreaming, if you don't want the inevitable return of the Tories, we need Andy Burnham because, I mean, God love him. Fucking Keir Starmer is about as popular as a swastika-shaped shit in a synagogue. People don't like him. People hate him. People really hate him. Oh, my God. There were celebrations when he stood down. Well, not so much on the right. They didn't seem to care because I don't think they'll just move on to the next quarry. But people on the left, fucking hell. They were cock-a-loop. They were like, yeah, look at him cry. Okay. But why does it have to be a leadership election? What's the fucking point? There wasn't a leadership election. There was a leadership election back in 2015, and we ended up with a bunch of entryists coming into Labour, fucking everything up for us and putting a leader in charge who couldn't win a fucking general election if his life depended on it. Lost 2 of them. Lost 2 of them. Imagine that. Imagine after the Brexit fraudurandum, you lose it. And then your party says, listen, I don't think you can win a general election. He goes, you're wrong. I can win a general election. And then you go on to lose 2 general elections. And at the end of it, you go, see, I was right all along. Like, no, you said the absolute opposite. You said you could win an election and you failed to do it because you don't know the difference between a pressure group and a political party. Now, they've got the same initials, but they're 2 very, very different things. But yeah, I don't know. Why has there got to be an election? There wasn't an election for Rishi Sunak. He was just given the fucking job. And what's the point? Andy Burnham will win it. Sort of a thing. No one wants to put their name forward because they just know Andy Burnham's going to win it. There wasn't an election for Theresa May. There wasn't an election for Gordon Brown. I mean, it wasn't the fact that there wasn't an election that did him in. It was the fact that he's just kind of miserable, wasn't he? He was just a big old fucking bagpuss. He'll turn up in the room and all the colour would drain from the room and be like, oh God, Gordon's here. And, he's a pretty good chancellor. But as a prime minister, he just turned up and you thought, oh God, no, he's had such a terrible life and awful things have happened to him and I feel bad now. I just feel awful. It's just, I don't know, he could say anything. He could be singing the fucking, I don't know, the words of a Spice Girls song. Do you know what I mean? And everyone will be like, "Oh God, this is so depressing." It's just, I want to. I want to. I want to. Zigga zigga. It just made everyone feel miserable. I don't think it was the election. I don't know. Could be wrong. But look, I'm willing to give Burnham a chance. I know people aren't. Some people watching this probably aren't. They're like, fuck him. I hate everyone. And no one's good enough for me. No one's good enough for my little Johnny. Do you think people get a little bit like Psycho Mum over this? Do you know what I mean? Like, my Johnny deserves better than this. Psycho Mama. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Well, all I'm saying is give Andy a chance, maybe, to fuck up. I'm sure I'll be here in a year's time saying, "Oh, well, he fucked up there." But there's some right there's some shoots, right? There are things that he can do like right away. There's things he can do over the summer that will actually improve things for people all over the country instantly. It instant wins that Starmer has not gone for. He's gone for the long-term stuff. And it's just not the right time for that. I know you can have the long-term stuff going on in the background, but just immediate wins and going, "Oh yeah, cheers for that." Do you know David Livingston, jeez, Dr. Livingston, I presume. Ken Livingstone, he was onto a trick when he made sure that every fucking poster for the London Underground, the greatest public transport service in the world, had Mayor of London written at the bottom of it. Boris Johnson wasn't shy on getting the name Mayor of London written on everything that he did. His Boris bikes and his stupid helter-skelter outside the London Olympics and his daft cable car. He had Mayor of London. There's Mayor of London. It was a thing that the EU fucked up on. They expect people to feel the difference, and they don't understand that the frog analogy works both ways. If you slowly heat up the water, the frog doesn't jump out the water, apparently, according to this analogy, right? I think it would. I don't think frogs are that stupid, but I'd be like, "Oh, it's getting warm in here." But the idea is if something happens gradually, you don't notice it, right? So fascism works like that. But also projects done by the government, Labour government, if you're not seeing the results pretty much immediately, you're not going to notice them because it takes too long to come through. The EU was terrible at this. The Echo Arena in Liverpool should have been called the European Union Arena. They should have called everything just a little tiny plaque on the side of the building saying, "Oh, this was built by the EU. Thank you for EU funds." No, fuck that shit. But build the whole thing in the shape of the fucking EU stars. Make it very, very fucking clear to people that this was done with EU funding. You want to have a new factory up here in the northeast. Fucking paint it blue, put gold stars all over it and say, "Thank EU," all over it. So every day people go in and go, "Oh yeah, this wouldn't be if it wasn't for the EU." But nobody knew because the EU's fucking full of dickheads who are like mad bureaucrats who are like, "No, it can't be too flashy, we must hide our light in a bushel." Whatever the fuck that means. I mean, why? Why would you do that? Why? Stop it, left-wing politicians. If you do something, go do fucking Mandami. Fucking take a leaf out of his book. He just goes, "Look what I did. Look at what we've done. Look at this. I've done this. I've done that. We've done this together. Woohoo!" Do it. Fucking do it. Anyway, are you implying that all money Reform Limited gets from oil companies is why Reform backfacking and North Sea oil increases? That's Simon Smith. Maybe. Burnham's coronation shows the absolute dearth of talent, not just in Labour, but in the whole of British politics. Well, do you think he's untalented? Like, honestly, do you honestly think he's untalented? Because I don't think that he is. I think he's incredibly experienced. He's been in government before, not in opposition for years, in government, and he's run a city. He's run the city of Manchester, which is the fastest growing region in the bloody country at the moment, thanks to his leadership. I mean, I don't think he's done a bad job. I mean, he's actually got stuff done. The Hillsborough inquiry was massive for us in Liverpool. It was one of the few good things that happened in 2016, that and Pokemon Go. But you got the Hillsborough inquiry, unlawful killing for 97 people who were unlawfully killed. Unfortunately, no one went to jail for it because the police officers involved, they retired. Imagine that. Imagine you fucking killed someone. Imagine you were a firefighter and you actually set a fire and it killed 97 people. And then they went, oh, we're going to do you for that. And they go, oh, no, you can't. Why not? I've retired from being a firefighter. Okay, but you still committed a crime, right? No, but I've retired from my job, so sorry, can't do me. The trick is to give someone a chance is to know when to stop giving them further chances, something the writer never worked out. Hence the continued support for Bojo Johnson. Acro Dave, come on, mate. Come on. There's still people there who think that the previous leader of Labour can lead, can hold a party together, can win an election. Come on. I don't think it's just people on the right. People just stick their, they what is it? What? Go away, fly. They hoist their petard. No, what's it called? They nail the colours. They nail their colours to the flag. Is that, how would you nail something to a flag? It's made of flappy material. But anyway, they nail their colours on, and that's it. That's it forever now. They're like, no, this person is beyond reproach. And no matter how many times that person lets them down, they're like, no. There's a reason, there's a rational explanation. But you're right, people do it on the right, they do it with Trump, but I think people do it on the left as well. And I'm very much proof of the pudding. But I am willing to give people the benefit of the doubt up to a point, and then it just stops. So yeah, I'm not going to say this is going to be awful from the get-go. And just looking at the polls, Burnham is popular compared with Keir Starmer. He is very popular, and he is very likely to be able to get refuck voters on side, which he did in Makersfield. Makersfield. Oh, do I have to? It seems like a lot of hard work. Can I borrow a tractor? The colours are the flag. I know. Is it nail the colours to the mast? Is that the expression? Nail to them. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Why would you nail colour? That's why I was thinking that's like saying it's cheaper at half the price. Or could care less. The expression is nailing your colours to the mast. Okay, fair enough. That's it. Thank you very much for people in the chat for correcting me on that one. I thought it made no sense. There are plaques around Liverpool saying funded by the EU. Yes, there are, Martin, but they're this big. They're like, you need to get your magnifying glass and your deer stalker out like Sherlock Holmes and go, I've solved the mystery of who built this fucking thing. It was the European onion from Europe. Was that who built? Yeah. The Good Law Project asked for comments on what you'd like Burnham to do. I put get a shredder. I don't think they got the reference too cryptic. Possibly that might make people think that you want to shred the trans flag there, L. Yeah, maybe you should edit that and just make it very clear that you want them to stop going after trans people. L says not just the bribery, it's going to America to Trump to put sanctions on the UK. Treason. Yeah. Also inciting a riot in Southport last year and in Southampton this year. Cold rage, he said. He called for cold rage. Chris C says the mayor's office grants 12 months to run Palantir AI pilot while London force pressures long-term support supplier. God, Palantir, fuck off. Have you seen that the Met want to have facial recognition cameras all over London? Unbelievable. Oh, very good. Very good. I like that for some stuck. That is absolutely beautiful what you've written there. It says, I once took part in a European Union election, but I spoil my shallot paper. Excellent. Well done. Well done. Well. Popular now, but wait till the right-wing press really get their teeth in. Well, I was thinking about this, John H., right? Think of all the negative press that Trump gets. Does it let him phase him? No. He just comes out all fucking guns blazing. That's what Burnham needs to do. Phil is right on this. You ask a silly question, that's one. Ask another silly question, that's two. Ask a third silly question. That's it. You don't get to ask questions anymore. That's it. You no longer. You can turn up if you like, take the seat, but I'm not going to ask you to ask a question because you just ask stupid questions. You go after them. So why aren't you reporting about Farage? Why are you talking about this when you should be talking about the fact that Farage took £5 million as a quid pro quo to for his political party, for the foundation of his political party? That news about Palantir has just put a downer on my day. That's really, really shit. An AI pilot of Palantir who are fucking evil, like literally run by genuine Nazis. Genuine Nazis. You know, the guy who set it up is I'm not having a go at Germans, but he's German by way of South Africa. Racists. Yeah. Trump has no idea what's going on though. Yeah, but I mean, his media game is fucking solid. The media writes all kinds of things about him, which are true because he's a cunt. But sorry, Mum. But he is. Yeah, anyway, so where were we? We were talking about what Andy Burnham's already said he's looking to do. On young people, he's proposed work-related opportunities for every 16-year-old and free bus passes for 16 to 18-year-olds. On defence, he said that public investment and procurement needed reform and has linked welfare reduction to getting more people into work. And then we've got, so instead of just taking people's benefits away from them, you get them off benefits by putting them into work, by making jobs work for people and making people work for jobs. But it's a funny way of putting it in that, isn't it? You make jobs work for people so people can actually do the job that needs to be done. I don't know if you saw this video yesterday, but this was the response by Burnham. Let me have a look. I'll see if I can get it up on the screen here. Hang on. Hello, Timothy. Woo! Let's have a look. My post about referring Nigel Farage to the Serious Fraud Office for his $5 million political bribe. It's had 2.8 thousand comments. I've earned $8.45 from that. From just saying what I believe anyway. Oh God. Don't you hate it when you look for something and it's not there? Just 1 second. Just 1 second, my friends. I will find it for you and it'll be lovely, I'm sure. Sorry, everyone. I need to have the sound on. There's no sound coming out. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Can we pause the video? Oh, they've done that thing where you can't pause it. Oh, yeah, you can. Oh, thank God for that. But okay, right. Let's see if we can make this work. Make this happen. There we go. This is so yesterday in Parliament. Kemi Badenoch was in a bad mood, so she's being horrible about everyone. And she accused Andy Burnham as being a pair of black eyelashes. A pair of eyelashes and a black t-shirt. And so this was Andy's response.
It's dark blue, actually.
There you go. That's it. 5-second video, if that. That's all you need. That's literally all you freaking need. Oh, the tank's come back. Sorry, tank. Don't need you right now. We'll disappear you. Okay, so I want to talk about this for a moment, right? Because this is fucking brilliant. This is where Starmer went so fucking wrong. If it was up to Starmer, as I said in the description of the video, he would have just written a 900 fucking word piece on Substack for no one to read. He and it wasn't just he couldn't think on his feet, and it took ages to respond to basically anything that happened. So you're just going, oh, when's number 10 going to respond to this? It was the fact that he couldn't. I don't think he could pull something like that off. And you might think that is like kind of goofy and it's below the level of politics or whatever, but that kind of thing gets people on board. If you can make people laugh, then you're halfway to winning. their hearts and minds. Whereas Starmer, do you think he's ever made anyone laugh? I don't know. Maybe a wry chuckle, a wry grin, but actually lol? No. Peter says, Labour lost support because they alienated disabled and trans communities in a stupid bid to follow refuck urged by McSweeney, who had Starmer's ear, and Starmer did not realise this was a disaster. Yeah, Peter, you're right. But that's one factor. I mean, there's a lot of things that Labour have fucked up on. But the mad thing is that compared with how the Tories fucked up everything, like Labour haven't been that bad. It's just amazing that like the where they have been bad, they've been awful. And obviously that's been able to be hung on them. It's typical of these tech bros to name a system after Tolkien's Seeing Stones. There's nothing they won't distort, corrupt, and deliberately misapply, says Akvo. Yeah, mate, it fucks me off to such an absolute, to such a level. It's ridiculous. I made up that post that I put about on Facebook. The post that I put up about that knobhead. What's his name? Farage should be going to jail, and it's had fucking. It's had 2.6 thousand or so, 2,600 comments on it. It's all the gams. I have a look on my analytics and I can see that, nearly 80% of the people leaving comments are all over the age of 55 because Facebook is like an old age pen. It's like an old person's home. It's I mean, it doesn't probably smell as bad, but. Anyway, David Faulkner, thank you very much for the 38 Hong Kong dollars. That's very kind of you. Greetings from Vladivostok. What are you doing in Vladivostok? In the far east Primorsky region. It does great trade with its neighbours and is cooler than hot South China. Fly to Harbin in Old Manchuria next. Ooh. You could stand for election there, mate, and you could be the Manchurian candidate. Ooh. Anyway, so yeah, brilliant attack there. Brilliant response, from Badenoch's attack, and and a dig at the refuckers as well, because it's not black, it's dark blue. Actually, it's just something that they say about the stupid, clearly black passports. That's that are clearly black. that was the old one. That was the Queenie one. This is the Kingy one. But obviously black. Yes, I do have 2 passports. What of it? What of it, yo? Loads of passports. Can you ever have enough passports? I don't think so. My first passport actually has the top there, European Community. How cool is that? Back before it was even the EU. But yeah, got a few passports. Places to go. Getting ready for my big trip next year to Bougainville. That should be fun. Bed soon. What? Burnham is normal and human, says Mr. Tish. Yeah, comes across as a normal human being, which Starmer. There's always that uncanny valley thing. It's like if you asked him a question, do you want a cup of tea? It just, while he works out all the different legal permutations of the possibilities of the chess he's playing in his head or something. I don't fucking know. And you're like, what's happened? Has he crashed? What's gone on there? What is this? The blue screen of death? What is going on here? Why is he not responding? No. Thank you. Actually, that was a bit too expressive, wasn't it? I didn't want you thinking the video had stopped. That's because when Fuckbook started, we were in our 20s, 30s, says Martin Howard. 20 years ago. 20 years ago, my friends. I have Twitch credits. How soon do you get Bezo books? Yeah, and it's typical of these tech bros to name. I've read that one. Yeah, but I hate. Don't go quiet. It makes me check my connection. I was just doing my impression of Starmer responding of whether he wanted a cup of tea or not. Anyway, Badenoch's spokesperson said she would absolutely not apologise for PMQs for pretty catty comments, in which Lindsay Hoyle, the Speaker of the House, actually had to sort of reprimand her and say we don't use inflammatory language. Do you want to talk about the Heat? Do you want to move on from Burnham? We didn't burn him. I'm going to have to get a little pop-up of Tubbs and Edward from League of Gentlemen. It pops up on the screen and goes, we didn't burn him. And then goes back down again. Badenoch, nasty and no class. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, so we're living through a heat wave. Anyone noticed? I'm up to 21 degrees here. This is ridiculous. It does look like there's some rain up in North Scotland. So if you want to chill out in North Scotland, dance in the rain. I have a silly question, Graham. How do you manage to keep your older passports? We have to return expired French passports. Is it different from UK ones? Yeah, you get to keep them. I know some countries you don't get to keep them, but in Britain you get to keep them, which is kind of awesome. Because otherwise I forget where I've been. But yeah, the stamps here that you can see on the screen here, these are all real stamps out of 2 of my passports. I've got another 4 that I need to take the stamps out of to put onto this picture. So the stamps will get smaller in the future. It just takes ages to extract all the stamps from the book because I've got to scan it and then I've got to go through Photoshop and go to every page and then run it through a filter so it brings out the colours. But sometimes you'll have blue stamps and red stamps on the same page. You have to do it twice to get them off the page, so that you haven't got the image of the passport page underneath them. If you know what I mean. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, wow, that's brilliant. The UK passports. Yes, it is. It is very, very useful, especially when you're a mad bastard like me and you go around literally going to every country in the world. There you go. What's on there? Republic of Uzbekistan, that's upside down. Republic of Kazakhstan. That's one for Algeria. It's an Algerian. That's my passport translated. That's my passport details translated into Arabic for when I went to Libya. Tajikistan. That's the stamp for Tajikistan. Sorry, the visa. Visa for what was this one? God. That's another Algerian one because my original Algerian one ran out before I got there. There's some of these I had to get 2 of. There's Turkmenistan there. Turkmenistan. Oh my God. Old school. Nigeria. Federal Republic of Nigeria. Congo. What else have we got in here? Whoa. Cote d'Ivoire. Ghana. Benin. If you go to my website, my travels, theodysseyexpedition.com, if you go up to souvenirs, there's a passport bit, and it's got 4 of my passports. It's got all the stamps, and you can go through the passport one by one. I don't know if it still works. I'm going to check it. Should we check it out together? Everyone? Might be fun. Ooh, for Confetti and Dismile, I'm still not a bot. Oh, thank you, Saz. I never thought you were a bot. I just thought you were amazing. Let's see if the passports things are still working. No. Oh dear. So yeah, this is my passport page at the moment. Sorry. There you go. Passport 1, 3D flip book mode equal full screen ID. I've deleted the bloody plugin, haven't I? Damn it. I had to bring that back. I had to bring it back. Anyway, arrogance of the men who wouldn't listen. Failing waterfalls. I'll get into that in a moment. 26 degrees in Liverpool, but a cool breeze down here by the river. Ooh, love being on the River Mersey. I love to take the ferry across the Mersey because this land's a place I love. Exactly, a passport full of precious souvenirs, especially yours. Yeah. I love looking through it and just sort of reminiscing about, back in the day. But yeah, I'm glad that we get to keep them. I wish I had the last of the maroon passports though. It was only around for about 4 years, something like that. 4 years. I think it was 2015. I got a new passport in 2014, and that was one of the older ones. But the edition, now limited edition that they put out, I think between 2015 and 2019. It was the last of the European Union passports. It was the last of the maroon passports. Inside was just fantastic. It was these beautiful illustrations on every page. It was just gorgeous. But they used to put like loads and loads of care and attention into passports. There was this one. Where was it? No, not that one. That's got birds in it. Boring. This one here, right? This was the penultimate edition. So they update the graphics inside and the way it looks and things. But this I just think that this is absolutely remarkable. So you can't see this very well. It's expired passport. Does it matter? No, it probably doesn't. Can't see this very well, but this is a page that hasn't got many stamps on it. So I'll try and actually zoom in. I'm sorry, this is boring for people, but I think this is really exciting. Right, I'll try and zoom in there. Right, can you see that? Can you see the temperature there? Can you see it says 0 degrees, 5 degrees, 10 degrees, 15 degrees? Yeah? So that temperature actually has, if I put it even closer, try and focus on that. Focus. Has it got macro focus or something on this? No. There you go. I don't know if you can see very well, but it actually has like a blue line inside it, and then it disappears here. So that blue line is the word. It's tiny, tiny, tiny letters. Sorry, taking off my glasses to focus, and I realise that I'm out of focus. Tiny, tiny letters, tiny, tiny, tiny letters saying something like UK passport, UK passport, in like micro letters. And that makes up the mercury in the thermometer on each page. So this is the weather passport, right? This is all based on different weather patterns in the UK. And that scale there, right? This is brilliant. So the mercury responds to the number of the page, the temperature. The temperature on the thermometer here responds to the number of the page. So page 25, if you look at it, it's 25 degrees Celsius, right? But this is a bumper passport, and the thermometer only goes up to 35 degrees Celsius, right? Only goes up to 35 degrees on the Celsius scale, but it's also got the Fahrenheit scale underneath. So if you were lucky enough to get a bumper passport, a 48-page passport, you go to the end of the passport. There's my Russia visa. You go to the end of the passport. You can see here, there's some stamps there for going into Ukraine. There's some Ukrainian stamps there. You know, when's it Ukraine? But then if I just bring this up now, no one's going to care about this but me. But I just think, you know, someone's thought about this, and I like being possibly one of the few people who have actually noticed. You can see here the scale, right? So it only goes up to 25. You see 35, sorry, on the Celsius scale. But on the Fahrenheit scale, it goes up to like 90 or whatever. So on page 35 or page 36, the scale goes, it switches from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Come on. How good is that? That's when they used to put a bit of effort into passports. Can't show you the inside of me actual passports that are valid now because you might see the number on it and I don't want to put that on the internet just in case, but oh my God, like someone thought of that and they put it in, and it takes me back to that beautiful line when someone asked the famous architect Anton Gaudi, why are you spending all this time making these little tiny bits on the top of the steeples of the Sagrada Familia? No one will see them. They're going to be 100 meters up in the sky. No one's going to see them. And he said, the angels will see them. You go, Gaudi. But yeah, I'm glad Alexa D likes that. Brilliant. Yeah, I know. They went, we'll have a thermometer on each page. But what if someone gets a bigger passport? Because most passports in the UK are only 32 pages. What if someone gets a 48-page bumper passport? We'll have to think of a way around it. And someone thought of it. They came in one day and said, why don't we have it so it's got Celsius and Fahrenheit? A little bit of British eccentricity there that we tend to, when it's really hot, we talk in Fahrenheit, and when it's really cold we talk in Celsius. Graphic designers gone mad, says Martin Harrow. Dear says, I like that. Who designs passports? It used to be a company in the UK called Devolution, and they lost the contract after Brexit. They used to be designed and printed in the UK. Devolution used to do it, and then after the Brexit referendum, it was a big thing that the government wanted to change the colour of the passport from burgundy or maroon. This is hash 80,000, I think, if you want to do the hex code for that. They wanted to change it to dark blue instead, which looks like black. And when they did that, they gave the rights to a French company, a French design company, who came back with the most boring fucking design imaginable. Literally, they went from pictures of British architecture and architects and artists and things like that, and they changed it to just a rose in the middle of the page, just a rose. That's it. Some flowers. There's some flowers in it, and every page is the same. Oh, thanks. Oh, and they're printed in Poland now. And the pages are thinner. I've still got an old black passport from 1982, and the photo shows me with spiky hair and a nose ring. I'm surprised to let me in anyway. Brilliant. I love it. But yeah, fruit crumble was my first basic training breakfast in 1981. What? I love it. Acro says, I'd hate to work on the Mersey ferry. They play that bloody song on a loop all day. It'll be enough to drive anyone insane. No, they only play it when you're coming in. They only play it once. But you know what? I'd like that a lot more than see it, say it, sorted. If I was on the train every day, if I had to get the train every day, or I worked on the train, see it, say it, sorted. Doesn't even make any fucking sense. Doesn't even make any sense. See it. Okay, say it. Say it to who? What? When? How? What? Sorted. What? You mean what? And that's been the it's been on every single train in the UK for like the last 20 years. At least when you go to Embankment, mind the gap. You only hear mind the gap when the train turns up. I used to work at Delarue. Dead interesting place, says John. Oh, that's very cool. So the British government who pulled us out of the EU went to the EU, France, to make the British passport. Now the British passport is made in the EU by the Polish. Yeah, it's printed in Poland. It's made by a French company. Sovereignty, mate. Sovereignty. Don't want some other country controlling us. How are we doing? I mean, listen. I'm not being funny, but this post that I put up about arresting Farage, it had 1.6 thousand views this morning. This is on Facebook, and then when I checked it just then, when I was talking to you, it had got up to comments, not views, comments. It got up to 2.6 thousand comments. Now it's at 2.9 thousand comments. I wrote, the first thing Andy Burnham should do as PM is to refer Nigel Farage to the Serious Fraud Office for this £5 million political bribe. 10 years in jail sounds about right for that bog-faced slime ball. Hashtag lock him up. And they've gone mad. They've gone absolutely fucking cock-a-loop. All the gam-gams are like, yeah, Nigel, I love you, Nigel. Look at me. Look at me, Nigel. I will defend your honour. Let's see what people are saying. Should we see what people are saying on my post here? Come on, let's go. We'll do this. It'll be fun. We'll do it together. It'll be fun. Here we go. Or ask how Rayner became a multimillionaire. And just what about looking to Labour and Khan? There's got to be literally 2,000 comments. What about the contract? Oh no, that's about him, isn't it? While he's at it, he should refer himself with regards to contracts awarded to his wife's company. Oh, he's talking about Andy Burnham there. Oh dear, are you having a paddy? The count of dodgy crypto from Bill there. Scared of Nigel, ha 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 ha, from John Vickers. It's a gift, mate. It's a gift. Oh my God. And Liber are so clean. Lefties are the gift that keeps giving. So this is great. And this has earned me about $10 just putting these words on the screen and then allowing all these people to write how much they hate Nigel Farage or love Nigel Farage. You know, that's a nice little earner, isn't it? $10. What's that? £7? £7, is it? Made £7 out of that. Bonza. I don't even need your super chats. I do. Please keep giving. Please keep the confetti cannon loaded, stocked up with confetti. But yeah, Delarue, any relation to Deliveroo? Yeah, they're twins actually, like Romulus and Remus. Okay, so we're back to talking about the heat wave. We should mention this. So we've smashed all of our heat records in the UK. In France, they've had the hottest temperature ever recorded ever in the history of France. They had the second hottest day ever, which was beat the record that had been set the day before. 350 million Europeans have been exposed to temperatures above 30 degrees C. France has placed 72 départements under French health alerts, red heat alerts, and the Spanish has recorded its highest daily average June temperature of 28 degrees. That's average. And we're seeing schools closing down south, rail disruption, hospital pressure, warnings over water and transport infrastructure. And the World Health Organization has warned that these conditions pose serious health risks. Also in the news, we've got the Nottingham maternity scandal, which is followed up on the Daily Mail. There's a 3-year review led by Donna Octonen found that avoidable harm or death affecting 520 mothers and babies at Nottingham University Hospital's NHS Trust between 2012 and 2025. So Ockenden's review identified harm to 444 women and 76 babies. Reported failures include understaffing, bullying, poor incident learning, racism, and toxic workplace culture. More than 2,500 families and 800 staff contributed evidence to this review. Nottingham maternity families represents around 600 affected families and is demanding accountability. Calls have been made for a national public inquiry into maternity care across the NHS. And Ockenden and Health Secretary James Murray have called for Martha's Rule to be implemented across all maternity units. Now, Martha's Rule is a rule that happened after the death of 12-year-old Martha Mills a few years ago, and this is something that her mum, Merriby, campaigned tirelessly on. I think she actually got an OBE for it this year. But Martha died after falling off her bike, after just a normal fall off a normal bike, as kids do. And she wasn't looked after properly in the hospital that she was kept in. Merriby and her husband's calls for the things to be done were ignored, and it was a bank holiday weekend which compounded everything. And so now Martha's Rule is that the doctors and nurses they have to check in on you as a parent every day to make sure you're okay and your kid's okay and you're happy with the treatment that you're getting. You have an automatic right for a second opinion if you don't feel right about the treatment that your child is getting, because you know your child better than anybody. And this Martha's Rule was rolled out, first of all, in places like Alderhay Children's Hospital in West Derby, Liverpool, near where I grew up. And it's been rolled out to children's hospitals across the country. And now there's a call for it to be implemented across all maternity units, and I think that's something that they definitely have to do. This is an absolute fucking scandal, and once again we see what happens when you have toxic workplace culture, when you have racism, when you have bigotry which is being rewarded. People fucking die. And we're going to have an inquiry in 10 years' time looking into the effective genocide against trans people. Don't start on me with the actual dictionary definition of genocide, but there is a targeted campaign against a minority of people in this country that is going on right now. And in 10 years' time, we'll have an inquiry about it, and we'll say X many people died as a result of these failings And we know it now. We know it now. But this is what happens when you've got dickheads in charge and services are underfunded. Here's a super chat. Thank you very much from Sarah. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I like the Icelandic word for passport, vegabrev, road letter. I like that. Does Vega, is that where we get vagrant from? A gentleman of the road. I love that expression, gentleman of the road. Aqua Dave, I read a Marconi book a while back. He's very good, says Harry Flashman, Stuart Marconi. I read that they played that song on a loop a good few years ago in Stuart Marconi's book. Might have stopped it since then. They don't play it on the loop. They play it as they come into Liverpool or come out of Liverpool or something, because it does a triangle across the Mersey. It stops in outside the Liver building, and then it goes across to Birkenhead and then a bit further up, or vice versa. This Sunday, the great Mel Brooks will celebrate his 100th birthday. Ooh, cool. He's made Spaceballs too, hasn't he? Simon Smith, you're taking your message away while I was reading it. Can I not get a troll badge? No, there is no troll badge. You just get muted. Anyway, so yeah, where was I? I was talking about this horrific situation with mothers and babies in Nottingham. And you know what? It might not be just Nottingham. Next up, we've got stories about graduate finances. The Institute for Fiscal Studies research estimates that 1 in 4 UK graduates may be worse off after going to university. That's not great, is it? That's not great. And then what else have we got here? The study used data from students who graduated in 2008. The IFS found that most graduates still received a lifetime earnings boost of around £100,000. Lower financial returns were especially associated with creative and performing art degrees. I didn't get a creative degree. I got a politics and history degree, but I decided to go into the creative industries, I suppose, if you can call this the creative industries. Higher financial returns were associated with subjects including economics and medicine. The graduate premium has shrunk by about 30% since 2020 because of higher student loan repayments and stronger earnings amongst non-graduates. The findings feed into debate over student loans and proposals to cap recruitment to courses with poor employment outcomes. Next up, we've got the big story of the day, which is these devastating earthquakes back to back within 1 minute of each other in Venezuela, to the west of Caracas. At least 32 people are known to have been killed, and the death toll could go into the thousands, even the tens of thousands. This is a huge earthquake. It has destroyed thousands of buildings. The magnitude of 7.2 and 7.5 on the moment magnitude scale, or the Richter scale, because some people still call it that, although it's not quite the Richter scale anymore, but whatever. The US Geological Survey has warned that the death toll could rise significantly. The US said it was mobilizing disaster assistance, which makes a change. Normally, when a disaster happens, America and Trump is in charge, he just kind of laughs. Do you remember that time when that hurricane hit Puerto Rico, which is part of America, and Puerto Rico wouldn't allow direct aid into Puerto Rico? Because they had this mad rule in Puerto Rico that you're not allowed to send anything on a ship into Puerto Rico if it hadn't stopped at an American port first, or been transferred to an American flag vessel first. And, normal times, I guess that's a rule to stop Puerto Rico getting cheaper stuff from, I don't know, the Dominican Republic or something. Or the I don't know, Montserrat. But when there's a disaster situation, you kind of need those ports to be open to get relief in. But they said, no, only American flagged vessels. So there was support coming from Canada, there was support coming from the EU on a ship, and it would have to dock in Florida, and they would have to take all the boxes of aid all the big containers, 40-foot containers full of aid, off the ship that had just come over the Atlantic, and then they'd have to put it onto an American flagged ship, and then that was allowed to go to Puerto Rico. So, and then Trump went out and he started throwing paper towels out to the crowd, if you remember that. Jesus, list. You could just do a list of Trump's crimes, and it'd be like that, wouldn't it? It'd be like fucking thick as the Bible. Do you have an opinion on Vaush in the USA? Vaush, I don't really know. I don't know who Vaush is. Sorry. Mel Brooks at 100 and Spaceballs 2 being made. Will he be in it? What's the oldest age for an actor to be in a film? That's a good question. What's the oldest age for an actor to be in a film? He is in it. He's playing Yogurt again, Jedi Master Yogurt, who is attuned to the Swatch. A friend of a friend trained as a midwife for 3 years, loved it. She lasted 6 months in the workforce because of the toxic environment. Yeah. Sarah says the turf nurses from Darlington got awarded £187,000 each, and £935,000 is coming out of NHS funds. What, for being a turf? Fucking hell. Norman Lloyd was 99 years old in the film Trainwreck. So who is the oldest actor to appear in a movie? Let's find out. Jeanne Calment. She appeared in the 1990 film Vincent and Me, at the remarkable age of 114 years old. And yeah, for professional working actors, the record generally belongs to Norman Lloyd, 99 years old when he shot scenes for Trainwreck. And he turned 100 before the film hit theatres. Another mention is Clint Eastwood, who has the record for the oldest actor to star above the title in the film Cry Macho, 2021, at the age of 91. Yeah, I think when Spaceballs comes out, yeah, Mel Brooks is in it, so he's gonna take that crown, I think. There you go. The list of Trump's non-criminal actions can be written on a single grain of rice. True that. Yeah. What's he ever done that hasn't been criminal? I tell you what, though, it's funny, these responses to me saying that Farage should be locked up. What about this? What about this? What about this? Beautiful use of whataboutism. What about this? What's this? Oh my God. David Hennessy, who's one of the rejoiners who was at the march last week, on Saturday, last Saturday. He's put, this is you must have plenty of bots following your page. This is the most likes I've had on anything, because he posted a picture of himself in response to a picture of me saying, I'm on my way to the march. He posted a picture of himself, thumbs up, and it's the most response that he's had. So yeah. Yeah, I think I do have a lot of bots. But I can't report 2,000 people. That is just ridiculous. Oh my God. So did I say 2,000? I now have 3,000. In the time that we've been doing this, right? It's gone from 1.6 thousand comments to 3,000 comments. 1,600 comments to 3,000 comments. So that's gone viral. Maybe I'll get a phone call later this morning off James O'Brien to go, can we talk about why you think Nigel Farage should be locked up? Well, because he committed a crime, didn't he? Got lots of friends requests now. People want to be my friends. Will you be my friend? No, you can follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Wow. 5,800 people have reacted to me post. I should put an advert for this, shouldn't I? Watch me talk about this now. Get people on here. Get a load of trolls to turn up. Jeanne Calment lived to be 122. What? Oh, come on. She couldn't have been that old. That's ridiculous. Come on, they didn't have good records back then. Do you reckon she was only like 80 or something? Young Frankenstein worked because Mel Brooks understood Universal horror movies. Blazing Saddles worked because he understood westerns. Yeah. Have you watched the Jacinda doco? I grew up near here, asks Greg. No, I've not seen it. I'm not seeing it, I'm afraid. The only decent joke in Spaceballs was one where Dark Helmet opens his helmet and says, "I can't breathe in this thing." Oh, come on! There were other jokes as well, where the alien pops out of John Hurt's chest and starts singing, "Hello, my honey, hello, my darling, hello, my dan." And what there's the jam joke where he jams the radar. It's a big thing of jam. It's funny. Anyway, so the US is actually assisting in Venezuela at the moment, but terrible news coming in from Venezuela. Also, terrible news for the Scottish football team, not on the same scale, obviously, but they lost 3-0 last night against Brazil. There's an old story that when Scotland last played Brazil, was it? And before the match, I might have to look this up because if I get anything this wrong, everyone's going to shout at me. Apparently, when they last played Brazil in the 1990s, the ref said before they kicked off, "May the best team win," to which Gordon Strachan responded, "I fucking hope not." But there you go. They've come third in their group. They might still go through, depending on how other teams do. Ludicrous speed, yeah. Spacewalk didn't work because Mel Brooks didn't understand sci-fi. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't one of his best. I mean, Robin Hood, Men in Tights isn't that funny either. Nowhere near as high as of Young Frankenstein or Blazing Saddles, which were boss, or The Elephant Man, which he produced. But yeah, Brazil beat Scotland 3-0 last night. So their qualification to the round of 32, which is coming up, is dependent on other results. Okay, so that's basically a little bit of a roundup of what's been going on. We're going to head over to the papers now. We've got failing water firms face state control under Burnham plans for power. The man set to become Prime Minister within weeks. Sorry about the low quality of this. It is low quality. Will consider taking over England's sewage dumping companies and using Paris model of Paris ownership. Blueprint being drawn up aims to take over firms that fail or breach their licenses. Burnham wants to end profiteering, cut household bills and tackle pollution, but Paris model will be more complex here as firms own infrastructure. Critics of public ownership warn of potential for taxpayers to incur debt, damage to investor confidence in water sector, and delayed upgrades to infrastructure. So there's a lot of things to navigate there, but something like what Phil was recommending the other day when he was saying, well, what they should do is basically run them as a non-profit. Bela Lugosi was dead when he did Plan 9 from Outer Space. You can't get much older than dead. Yeah. I see you upsetting a lot of people on Facebook, Graham. I am, Cathal. Thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to. I did a thing yesterday because I looked at my demographics and I thought, do you know what? I'll have a pop at old people and that'll stir them up. But unfortunately, no one really cared about that one. I only got 94 responses to it. Whereas, oh my God, this one that I've written about, Andy Burnham, saying that he should refer Farage to the Serious Fraud Office for the bribe. Yeah, it's now up to 3.1 thousand K. Jesus Christ. Then again, it's had nearly 6,000 responses. Should we have a look at the... Oh, hang on. That just makes me look at my own responses. Let's have a look at the insights. Yay. I've earned $9.45. That was worth it. With 8,700 reactions, apparently. Does it break them down? It doesn't even break down the reactions. It doesn't care. It doesn't care whether you got an angry face or whether you got a happy face or whether you got a heart or whatever. What you want to do is you want to put up a post that gets all six emotion responses off people. That's usually a pretty tricky thing to do. But there you go. What you want to do is say something that is really bad that happened, that is that you need love for, and then but it's also funny. It's a difficult needle to thread, that one. What page is that on Facebook? It's facebook.com/Graham David Hughes or @Graham David Hughes. Slightly worrying that there's so many people defending him. It's bots. It's just all bots. Like, so many of them don't have a profile picture. They're just all bots. The bot army has kicked into into life. This particular post that I've put up, 98.9% non-followers. There you go. Someone wrote, can you refer to the specific crime that has been committed? And I've put a link up to the Bribery Act of 2010. Do you know what I do think they should do on Facebook, actually? You know, when you put something on Facebook, right? And you shouldn't have to because it's shit, right? But whatever. I need the money. Shut up. When you put something on Facebook, right? I think that you should be able to set what emojis people are allowed to respond with, because you get a lot of news stories where something awful has happened, like a boat has capsized in the channel and some children have died, and people leave laughing emojis on it, and I think that's just fucking sick. It's absolutely sick. So it should be, which emojis do you want to be available on this? And you can put, well, I want, care, and I want, this, and angry, whatever, but I don't want laughing on this one because it's a serious post. And if I was to post that something happened to me, one of the members of my family or something that's awful, if I put it as a public post, people will put a laughing emoji on it, and I want to not let them do that. That's why whenever I do something about myself, Catherine, my family, whatever, that always goes as a friends only post, so you wouldn't see it if you were just a follower. Apparently, a bunch of England supporters were thrown out of a match for chanting, "He's fat, he's got piles, he's in the Epstein files." 28.9 degrees Celsius in flat, 1.5 hours until summer moves around. Yeah. Dark Star messes up, but it's the best alien ever, isn't it? The best alien ever. It's a beach ball, isn't it? Am I getting that mixed up with Red Dwarf? Dark Star, written by Dan O'Bannon, who also wrote Alien, I think. Wasn't it the same people who did Dark Star, did Alien? Sun, you changed sun to summer. I didn't do that. It says until summer moves around. That's what I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I don't have control over what comes up. Post something slating man with fish. Yeah, but the thing is, if it's a political one about Farage, who obviously has millions and millions of pounds to spend on Russian bots to, come onto his thing to defend him, to defend the indefensible. Yeah. Defending the indefensible. You'll get a lot of comments. If I put a comment on about it's a nice day today or something, no one's going to comment on that. It's got to be political. It's got to be targeting someone that the refuckers get love. Actually, not the refuckers, the bots. The bots are told to respond to stuff like this and say, "Oh, quick." The breakdown of responses for your post is 4.4 like. 1.1k love, 199 love, and 38 angry. Cool. The problem is, I mean, yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to respond to that, without, I suppose you could do the laughing emoji, but then, I think it'd be very funny for Nigel Farage to go to jail forever. Daily fail here. Kemi gave cheer to everyone depressed by Burnham's left-wing coup by being absolutely fucking horrible during PMQs, and everyone slated her for it. And then we've got a story of Britain's worst maternity scandal, and they're blaming men who wouldn't listen. NHS bosses ignored women's warnings as 500 mothers and babies died or were harmed at toxic hospital trust. It's funny how the Daily Mail always picks someone to pick on, and yeah, there was failings in the trust, but also there was failings at the top end of government, because they decided that it would be a good idea to bring in to cut funding massively. Sorry, I'm just sparing you from having to see Nigel Farage's face before we go to the next paper, which is the Mirror. So there you go. There is a picture there of Farage. It says non-way. Farage's Brexit bash at French restaurants. They're nothing if not hypocrites. But also, I hate the way there's like a joyous thing. See this on the side of record baker. Ha 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 ha. 36.1 degree, you know, and showing people having fun. And it's like, actually, if people go out in this kind of heat and run around and jump into cold water, there's a good chance that they'll fucking die. So I think we always respond like this. Oh, it's great, isn't it? Look at this beautiful fucking weather. And it's like, this isn't beautiful weather. This is deadly fucking weather. It's not like you're walking in the desert and just going, oh, isn't it lovely weather? No, you're in a desert, mate. Get some water or you're going to fucking die, dickhead. Anyway, so, and their story, the main story is the maternity scandal here. Never again. 520 babies and mums died or suffered avoidable harm. Health Minister pledges lasting change for the country. So that's the cover of the Mirror there. We've also got the Times over here. We'll go to the Times. Good times, bad times. It's the bad times because it's owned by Rupert Murdoch. I'm going braless in the heat wave. Okay. I don't really know what to say to that. It's like when someone tells me they haven't seen Star Wars. I'm like, okay. I really don't know what you want me to do with that information. I mean, it's great. If that's, you know, what floats your boat. Do you want to know why she's going braless in the heat wave? Because she doesn't want sweaty tits. That woman's been paid to write an article about how uncomfortable sweaty tits are. It's probably on 100 grand a year. I'm going to write an article about my sweaty tits. I wish I went to private school. Anyway, Miliband takes key economic role in Burnham's backroom team. Ed Miliband is playing an integral role in developing economic policies for Andy Burnham's government as part of Burnham's transition to number 10. Office staff prefer emails to chats at the water cooler. The office water cooler used to be where gossip was exchanged, friendships were forged, and workplace grumbles quietly urged. All right, whatever. Britain surges in record June temperatures, and another, you know, classy shot. A woman in a bikini, and she's got all this water around her, and it looks glorious, doesn't it? That could be a shot for a holiday brochure. You could look at the holiday brochure and you go, "Whoa, we'll go to this holiday brochure." I'll say it again. This fucking heat is fucking deadly. Stop trying to sell it like it's a bit of fun. It's fucking deadly. Take it seriously. I know you can't. Tabloid fucking newspapers, eh? And then the final story on the front cover here of the Times: cruel maternity care left hundreds dead or injured. Going back onto that main story there. Was braless woman Angela Epstein lives locally, writes rubbish and nasty to get her friends. Writes rubbish and nasty to get her friends in print. I don't know. Let's have a look. What's her name? Angela Epstein. Angela Epstein. That's an unfortunate surname, isn't it? Might be called Angela Hitler. Journalists. No, I don't think she is, because in all the pictures I can see she's kind of got reddish hair. Angela Epstein. She writes for the. No, I don't think it's her, or she's dyed her hair. Maybe it doesn't look like her. Maybe it's another woman. Maybe they just got a picture of another woman. What school did she attend? Let's have a look. Manchester High School for Girls. And I am pretty sure that the Manchester High School for Girls is a private school. Pretty sure that it's a private school. So there you go. Let me see. Manchester High School. So I don't know if I type this in. I don't know if I should type this into Google, should I? High school. Oh, yes, it's an independent high school there. So, yeah. So if it is her, she went to private school and gets to write about sweaty tits. Don't want sweaty tits. What did you do? I took my bra off. Cool. Okay, so the Daily Star here is, come on, you snooze. Gareth in bed before England games. Okay. It's so hot. Chaz is sweating, unlike bro Andy. So we have a sweaty monarch there, which is a famous kind of butterfly, the sweaty monarch butterfly. And they've got NHS and baby shame, but also Mad for a Mank number 10. Mad for a Mank. That was something I was talking about earlier about them moving number 10 to Manchester. So there you go. There's another story for you. Now, the only paper that I can see that is actually taking this fucking heatwave fucking seriously is the fucking Guardian. So good on you, Guardian. Here it is. UK registered hottest ever June day. France breaks heat record again. Extremes driven by climate crisis, the new normal, which it absolutely is. At least 1,000 UK schools closed as extreme heat sweeps continent amid warnings of risks to lives. Over 500 mothers and babies harmed in NHS scandal. Burnham, chief of staff, picked to lead lobbying firm from BP and Apple. Burnham's chief of staff, his new chief of staff, is also someone who went to private school. Because they're everywhere. Some more names to add to the list. Do you know what? I was just looking them up there, and I wrote Burnham's chief of school. Obsessed I am. James Purnell. I bet it's one of those names that, because it's dead posh, it's pronounced differently. No, actually, it's not James Purnell. It's pronounced Jams Pern. Sorry, Pern. Okay. Like Rafe Fiennes. Is it not Ralph Fiennes? No, it's not Ralph. Ralph, I don't call it Ralph. It's Rafe. Okay. Don't call Benedict Cumberbatch Benny. He hates that. Hey, Benny, how you doing, mate? Daggers. I always hate it when the papers presume that everyone works in an office and has time to piss about at a water cooler. I know, it's a bit mad, isn't it? Regan Elite, hello, Regan. I met Regan Elite in the flesh on Sunday, or Saturday. Sorry. Okay, just come back after being away and come back to a major announcement by Graham. Don't think you need a bra, Graham. Oh, I don't know. Might do. Getting there. I want to be a silver surfer like in Australia, says Greg. Yeah, absolutely. Could number 10 black door, front door on one of the Georgian houses off Jean's Gate. Maybe. Good thing it's supposed to cool down next week. Yeah, absolutely, it's a good thing. So yeah, the only newspaper taking the heat wave seriously really is the Guardian, the Daily Telegraph here, fucking Tory graph. What to eat to beat the heat? Labour's new press freedom. Burnham cools on Miliband as Chancellor. Challenger fears of repeat Blair Brown rift as he appoints Darling of the Left to number 11. Darling of the Left? What? Miliband? You fucking kidding me? The King gets cooling down. So that's what the King looks like. If you forgot what the King looks like, we've got to put him on the front cover. Homeowners ordered to rip out aircon. Homeowners are being forced to tear out air conditioning from their private properties under climate laws. No, they're not. Shut the fuck up. Stop making shit up, you fucking mad bastards. How many more mothers and babies must die? Asks report author. Brutal killing in Stone Circle on Solstice. And a man has been arrested on suspicion of murder after a 26-year-old man was found at a Bronze Age Stone Circle during the body of a 26-year-old man was found at a Bronze Age Stone Circle during a summer solstice celebration. That's awful. Swap cattle for lentils, farmers to be told. Yep, okay. Kyiv's strike threatens Putin's iron grip. Ukraine strikes on Moscow are threatening Vladimir's grip on power. Haha. Thames Water may offer customers shares. Thames Water's customers could be offered shares in the struggling supplier as part of an attempt to see off the threat of nationalisation under Andy Burnham. Well, good luck with that, gobshites. And then we're going to go to the Financial Times. I'm really liking the fact that for whatever reason, maybe I put an ad blocker on. Did I put an ad blocker on this? I don't know, but the adverts aren't coming up on this anymore. Every time I go from one page to the other, like it used to. Financial Times here. We've got Working It, China's robots plug shortfall. We've got Burnham plots number 10 of the North in push for radical devolution of power. Additional office set for Manchester. Wider decentralisation agenda. Doubt split from Whitehall. Doubt over split from Whitehall. We've got Caracas to unveil $240 billion debt in historic shakeup. That's an unfortunate title considering. Sorry, and that's in the briefing. That's the top of the briefing there. That's that historic shakeup. They just had a fucking earthquake, you sick bastards. I know they didn't know they were going to have an earthquake when that was written, but bloody hell. Maybe pull that front page. You know, like they did for the Daily Mail. The Mail on Sunday. The Mail on Sunday, because Princess Diana died on a Saturday night. She was out on Saturday night in at the end of August the 31st, I think it was, in Paris. And the front, one of the news stories in the Mail was having a dig at her for her clothing style. So they had to quickly pull those papers, because it was like, isn't she a fucker wearing these clothes? We hate her. And then suddenly, within just a few short hours, she was the queen of our hearts. She was the princess of dreams. She was the most beautiful and purest and most wonderful woman who ever lived. That was a screeching fucking U-turn, wasn't it? Not so about you, Con. I just had it fitted. Yes, Graham, says Aqua Dave, but private school sweaty tits are a better class of sweaty tits than state school sweaty tits. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've got a better class of sweaty tits. Daylight M, I don't want shares in the company that has £100 million in debt. I know, Daylight M, good point. I'm going to give you comments of the day. I think that was that just about sums it up, my friends. You get comment of the day. I don't want shares of the company that has $100 million in debt. Thank you. I've given your Facebook post a like and a positive comment. Look forward to some of the gammon abuse. Thank you, Harry Flashman. Flash, I savior of the universe. Oh, different Flash. Harry Flashman. I might start reading what other Flashman books have I got? I've got Flashman, the first one, which is Afghanistan. I've got Royal Flash, which is Germany under Bismarck, isn't it? I've read that, and Flash for Freedom, which is on a slave trading ship. Flashman and the Tiger. I've got Flashman and the Tiger next to read. I don't know if that's in order. Don't ask what Australians call custard slices. Well, I've seen Australian mayonnaise, mate. I was like, what the fuck is this? What have you done to me tuna sandwich, mate? What is this? And it's like, that's mayonnaise, mate. This is not mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is white. This is sort of a bit white and a bit translucent with the consistency of something that's a bit white and a bit translucent. Oh my God. What are you putting this on a tuna sandwich for? What is wrong with you people? They don't have proper mayonnaise in Australia. They have war mayonnaise. You know, like when you'd have all the ingredients to make something, you've got to sort of bodge something through. So like in America where they have war chocolate. And I'm not even kidding about that. One of the reasons why American chocolate tastes of a badger's arse, literally, it is because of skunk's arse. The reason why it tastes like a fucking skunk's arse is because there's a chemical that they put in it to preserve it so they could send it out to the men on the front line. And the Americans apparently just fell in love with the taste of the stink glands of a fucking skunk. Yeah, war chocolate. Oh wow, I've got a signed copy of Flashman and the Tiger. Oh, amazing! That's from Harry Flashman. That's pretty cool. He died a few years ago, didn't he? George MacDonald Fraser, or whatever his name is. The more protein, Graham. Yes, L. That's what I was getting at. That's exactly what I was getting at. OMG. Okay, so what else stories have we got here? BT lost Thames Water bet. The Telecoms Group pension scheme has confirmed that it lost £500 million after writing off its stake in the ailing water company. Eventually, if you gamble, eventually you're going to lose. Train passed red signal. That's about the crash that happened the other day near Bedford. Banks fight off watchdog. Lenders have fought off a move by the financial ombudsman to let customers bring complaints about the terms of historic loans. Defence investor jitters. Kyiv's drones hit Crimea. EU to back Paramount. Brussels is to approve the group's $111 billion takeover of Warner Brothers. if it accepts remedies clearing the way for the creation of of one of the largest media groups, which is going to be owned by Larry Ellison, who's a massive Trump supporter. Basically, all these big American media companies are going to be owned by Americans who love Trump. Oh, sorry, not even Americans sometimes, but someone who loves Trump, someone in Trump's orbit, along with all of our what's it called? Platforms. All these big platforms. So I've got the hiccups. Aussie Mayo spit or swallow, says War and Peace. Jesus. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. If it smells like a fish, there's only one thing you can splash on it, says owner of Oracle. Wasn't that the name of the ITV version of CFAX? Wasn't that called Oracle? Am I getting it mixed up with something else? Business jets ruled green. This is the last story on the in the little briefing box on the Financial Times. Business jets ruled green. French maker of Falcon jets has won a legal claim that private planes should be able to qualify as sustainable under EU environment rules that initially excluded them. Yeah, right. George only. Thank you very much for the £2 super chats. Musk lost $0 on the SpaceX share price dive. Yeah, of course, he just took all the money. Pump and dump. Pump and dump. Pump and dump. Thanks very much to George only. Mr. asked me to do this. 3, 2, 1, go! Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Confetti for all. Confetti. Don't be a meffy. Give us some confetti. I've just started another goal. If you want to help out with that, you can. We've got a bit of time left. We've got at least 7 minutes left, haven't we, before I should possibly fade away into obscurity. Back from whence I came. Oh, Boba Fetty. Okay, I'll tell you what, right? I've just set up a new target. If we do get the next target, I will Boba Fetty. I won't confetti. I will Boba Fetty. Yo. It's gonna be so much fun. It'll be loads of fun, I'm sure. I just need to check here. Oh, hello. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's ready. That's right. It's ready to go. I've loaded the Boba Fetty cannon. Loaded it. There you go. See? Got a little preview there. So it's ready to go. Pump and dump. Trump's last meeting with Putin. Oh. We have a fairly strong breeze blowing here in Torbay. Bit of a relief. That's good. Just read that Prozac and this heat don't mix. No wonder I'm feeling like I'm drunk this morning, says Shropshire Chris. Yeah, I mean, dehydration is very similar to being drunk. In fact, it's even more similar to having a hangover. It's very similar to having a hangover. Maloney in a bid after in a bind. Sorry, not a bid, a bind. I can't read this morning. Maloney in a bind after NATO chief says US used Italian bases for Iran bombing. NATO chief Mark Rutte yesterday cast Giorgia Maloney into a political storm by revealing that Rome had allowed 500 US planes to take off from bases in Italy as part of the bombing of Iran. Jesus. Bullying cover-ups linked to maternity deaths. So obviously that was covered in a lot of the other papers as well. We'll go down here to the Daily Express. Red hot UK sizzles in record 36-degree heat dome, and they show some kids having fun on the beach, which could be a brochure for a holiday magazine for Thomas Cook. Thomas Cook doesn't exist anymore. Deep sense of anger at maternity unit deaths. And then we've got a picture of Emma Raducanu, who's not done anything. She's not won anything for 5 fucking years. But look, it's Emma Raducanu. It's Emma. Look at Emma. Has anyone seen what Emma looks like? Should we print 500,000 copies of this pamphlet with a picture of Emma Raducanu on it? Why? What's she done, Graham? What's she achieved? Has she won another, one of the Grand Slams? No, she hasn't. Hasn't won anything for 5 years. But she's looking forward to Wimbledon. I have no idea why they keep putting her on the front cover of all the newspapers when anything to do with tennis is on, as opposed to any of the tennis players who actually fucking win. Can anyone guess? Can anyone in the chat help me out on this one? Come on, help me out. Help me out. Then we've got don't target crucial pension triple lock. Andy Burnham has been urged not to axe the crucial triple lock. I'm urging him to axe it. Axe it. Axe it. Axe it. And then Metro here, the Metro Manila Aid, says Kemi lashes out at Andy. Badenoch calls PM in waiting nothing but a pair of eyelashes and a black t-shirt. Isn't she funny? Isn't she funny? Gosh, she's so smug. And then finally, there's a report on the front cover of the Independent here. Hunted, kidnapped, blackmailed, and tortured for being LGBTQ+. This is the world of keto attacks in Nigeria, where gay and trans people are catfished and extorted by gangs in a surge of violence and hatred, being funded by the transphobes in Western countries, being funded by the oil companies to keep Nigerians fighting amongst themselves instead of fighting the real enemy, the oil companies. Is it because she doesn't have sweaty tits? Yeah, it must be that. That must be the reason. They like to perv on poor Ranucanu. Yeah, they do. One Angry Pagan. They really freaking do. Elsa, start the day with integrity. Rice Krispies better with smack, crack, and pot. Get munted. Smack, crack, and pot. Breakfast of champions there. On the plus side, the heat is great for drying clothes outdoors, lol. Well, you say that, War and Peace, but, War and Peace, listen. If you've got like a towel, right, and you put it out in this heat, there's a chance that it might turn into cardboard. And then when you're drying yourself on it, it might be a bit unless you like getting dried off on a bit of rough cardboard. I get the impression that Kemi would lash out at her own mother-in-law if she's married. Yeah, she is married. She is married. Yeah. Ernie, she definitely has sweaty tits if you saw her at Queen's. Martin, come on. Let's be sensible here. Let's see how many comments we've got. We've got 3.2 thousand comments now on the lock him up, my lock him up post. Wow, so many people are just, there you go. Nigel has done nothing wrong, says Nigel Whitehead. Should we have a look at Nigel Whitehead? He's there with a guitar. He's an old man with a guitar, and he plays the bass apparently. Not in other countries, and he's posted something on it. I'm just having a look at his page here. This is your average gam in the UK. In June 1957, the temperature was 36.5, just scaremongering people, and people believe it. And then he's posted something about all the world's carbon emissions. And then he's written about the European Union is not Europe, it's an ideology. He's written Climate Con, why today's heat record doesn't stand up to scrutiny. He's posted stuff about Tommy Robinson, who donated his entire £5 million earnings to an orphan or something. There is literally nothing these absolute fucking knobheads won't believe. But I don't think he's real, so I'm just going to go here and report his profile. Something about this profile. What do you think this profile? What do you think is wrong with it? I think they're not a real person. I'm going to report them. They're not a real person. There you go. Next. There you go. Thank you for reporting this profile. Now I'm not going to block him because he's generated 300 and something likes of his comments saying that Nigel's done nothing wrong, and obviously that's interaction and it means more money for me. Maybe Badenoch lashed out at Burnham because she secretly fancies him. Ooh, don't know. Whenever it's hot, the papers never illustrate it with photos of pensioners in air-conditioned hospital beds. I wonder why. Yes, that is very true. It's always like someone having a great time at the beach or in a park or somewhere. What happened at the steroid Olympics in Vegas? I would have liked to watch that. Did the race relay use needles instead of batons? Well, the steroid Olympics was a bit of a damp squib. There was only one world record that was broken, and that was broken by 1/600th of a second. And it was really because the guy was wearing a non-regulation swimsuit that allowed him to glide through the water a lot more smoothly than you otherwise would. But aside from that, the records were not smashed. The records that have been set up by people who actually put the fucking hard yakka in and don't just inject stuff and cheat. And Vegas, Vegas is hell on earth for me. I don't like modern buildings at the best of times, soulless fucking pieces of shit. And I was thinking about how Vegas, I watched the movie Backrooms last week with Ben Chambers. He's not in it. I went to the cinema with him. And I was thinking about liminal spaces and those huge casinos that they have there, lit by fluorescent lights and the suspended ceilings of those, what is it? It's like packing foam for, not packing foam, what's it called? Polystyrene roof tile, ceiling tiles with and the sticky carpet, and it's all brown. It's just shite, and then it's all got these fucking one-armed bandits and all these things. It just looks like a liminal space that has been, from Backrooms, that has been, mixed in with like some kind of like someone's idea of what a classy casino that James Bond might gambling might look like, and it just looks tacky as shit. But basically, Las Vegas is the Blackpool of America, and it's just as awful. Sorry if you're from Blackpool, but come on. It used to be nice. I bet the high jump was interesting, says Sarah. Good one. Should have made it the Speed Olympics. That would have been something. There was a in the first year of snowboarding being a event at the Winter Olympics, I believe that one of the competitors was disqualified. You might want to check on this, for having pot in their system. And there was a joke on the Mary Whitehouse Experience at the time saying, when has pot ever made someone do something faster? Sticky carpet, Crazy House and the Blue Angel. Yeah, absolutely. Love the Blue Angel. You go downstairs in the Blue Angel and the ceiling was just pressing down on your head. It's like going downstairs at Slater's. These amazingly low ceilings. Don't jump up and down. Please don't play Madness. I'll have to jump up and down. I'll bang my head. One thing about it is this heat, it melts chocolate. I wish there was a brand of heat-resistant chocolate. Well, funny you should say that, Samantha Patrick. There is. They make it in countries that are hot. So if you buy chocolate in countries in Africa, if you buy it in sort of Central America or somewhere, it's a different formulation of chocolate, and it actually doesn't melt at sort of 35 degrees or whatever it is. Whereas here we have chocolate that doesn't need to have that in it, because I don't know if it makes it taste any better. I don't think it does, but now is the time, my friends, to put your chocolate in the fridge. Along with pretty much everything else. When I lived in Panama, I would put my sugar in the fridge. Why would you put your sugar in the fridge? Well, because the ants fucking love sugar. And you put it in the fridge, they couldn't get to it. Sticky carpets. Dirty dance floors. Dreams of naughtiness. Good news, by the way, I want to share. Elon Musk is no longer a trillionaire. He is no longer a trillionaire. He is an ex-trillionaire. He is no more a trillionaire than you or I. He is not a trillionaire, which is great news. We'll just have a look at this. Elon Musk, no longer a trillionaire. Sorry. Took far too much excitement out of that. But, you got to take your wins where you can. He's what we call a gobshite, a shite of the gob. Blue Angel ceilings used to rain. Blue Angel ceiling used to rain other people's sweat on you. It did. It's a lovely place. Used to be in there. Share sweat. Talking of sweaty, Richard is saying it's 30.1 degrees there now. Well, it's got up to 22 degrees in my room here, in my fridge, in my large Victorian fridge. We've complained about this house so much. It needs so much work doing to it, and anything that you want to do is not made any simpler by the fact that none of the walls are straight. The floor isn't even. You think about like putting in a new shower unit, but the shower unit is square. It's square. The base is square. Is the wall square? Is it fuck? Because it was all just done by eye. It's a mining village. They didn't put much care and attention into the build. But yeah, they did put in like fucking 6 feet foot walls. Damn it. You could have stopped talking after Elon Musk is no longer. Oh, that would have been nice. That would have been very nice. That would have been lovely. It would have been lovely, my friends. So yeah. Yeah. The copium on the on my post here about Andy Burnham. The copium is just remarkable. Of people saying, no, leave him alone. Leave Andy alone. Leave him alone. Do you know what you can do as well? You can always edit posts on Facebook. So what you can do is you can you can type something in like that gets everyone going, yeah, that's great, and then you can change it to whatever you want. So people can be saying, yay, that's great. You've just written like I've just, you know, I've just nominated Trump for death row, and people are like, yeah, great, good stuff, woo. Something I used to do on my blog, I could edit comments. I could edit other people's comments on my blog back in the day. And if someone was really fucking me off, I'd be like, if you don't stop fucking me off, I'm going to mute you and then going to edit your comments. I think I only did it once where I edited the last comments to go, yeah, that's a really good point, Graham. And you're incredibly attractive and intelligent. I should listen to you more. And they were like, I didn't write that. I'm like, well, I did warn you. I had editing capability of your comment. Editing other people's comments is hilarious. I never said that. Well, you know, your name's there now. Your picture's there. Nothing you can do about it. Maybe you shouldn't have been a troll. Maybe you shouldn't have argued with me. Don't argue, you people arguing. How do I make this go full page? I want this to be my full page. Is there a share? Edit post, edit audience. Oh, there you go. I'm just seeing if there's any kind of thing popping up here that might be private. Nah, my birthday's not private. It's on my fucking Wikipedia page. But there you go. Let's have a look. Should we read some more messages together? Come on, that'll be fun. Let's do this. Let's watch the gams. Let's see what the gammons have to say. So I can make that even bigger. There you go. Can you refer to the specific crime? I did that. Yes, you've got them rattled, Nigel, says someone. Bloody hell, you're having a laugh. Liber, you always know. Please look at who Burnham sent £4 million to not too long ago, laughing. Okay, cool. Oh dear, are you having a paddy? That's from Denise. Thanks for that, Denise. Scared of Nigel, laugh, laugh, laugh. Is that jealousy aftershave you have on? No, it's not liking people breaking the law, you know. If this happened, everyone will vote. If this happened, every vote would for Rupert Lowe. No, because no one likes Rupert Lowe. It's just he's just an excuse for racists who don't like Nigel Farage. Genuine question: how did Starmer become a multi-millionaire in just 2 years? PM pay is not that good. Give me some evidence. Some evidence, please. No crime committed, as the money was a gift. Yeah. So if you say it's a gift, does that mean that it doesn't count? Like, that's quite interesting, isn't it? The idea that, like, oh no, it wasn't a bribe; it was a gift. I think it's going to be pretty easy to prove it was actually a bribe. You're just jealous. I'm just jealous of Nigel Farage. I'm really not. I quite like my face. It doesn't look like a mangled arse. Alan Hughes, no relation. So the first thing you go after is reform, comma, comma, comma. Try sorting things out, space, comma, comma. Do the right thing for the country, comma, comma, comma. Do your job, comma. That's the first thing he should do. That makes no sense, but okay, whatever. Graham needs a cuddle. I don't need a cuddle. I've got a hot girlfriend for that, mate. I almost destroyed Britain, says Andrew Harper. Okay, cool. Does Farage worry about the far left? Seems that way. That doesn't understand. I don't understand that. I see your IQ test came back negative. Diane Perks there, friend of Farage. And if I blow up these pictures, there's usually a dog there, or you know, look at this gammony looking fucker. Sorry, I know that goes off the screen a little bit, but purest scam. Sad Dick can first. Sad Dick can first. Don't know what Dave Pride was trying to say there. Every MP has took a backhander at some time. Yeah. So if you believe that, then find the evidence, prosecute them. The first thing YPU should DP is get a life. Get a life. Like in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Starmer is now a multimillionaire. How did that happen? Yeah, good question. How did it happen? He's not committed to crime. What about the Labour lot? Yeah, what about? Labour, there you go. I think we need to investigate Andy's wife for getting that big contract. We love him, says Ian, who's so good looking. He's replaced his picture. Sorry, I know you can't see that. With a dog. It's a dog. He's put a picture of a dog up. So should we have a look? Should we have a look at Ian Chilver's? Should we have a look at his post here? He's put one thing, thinking of Kenny and Stanley. Well, do you know what I'm thinking of, mate? I'm thinking you're not real. So I don't care if you are. I'm going to report your profile. Something about this profile. It's fake. That's what I reckon. I reckon it's fake. So I'm going to press that. They're not a real person. And I'm going to submit that. I'm going to submit the report. There you go. I like doing this. I don't know if it does anything. It might just be like in Lost, where they literally just where they in the TV show Lost, where there was a thing for putting the readings from the bunker, and it just came out into a field. It went down one of those vacuum tubes, and then came out in the middle of a field, which was fun. So yeah, that was Ian Chilver there. Oh God, it started at the top of my list here. This is fun. Sorry. I don't know. Do you think this is fun? Do you think it's fun reading? Maybe we should have a closer look at other political parties. This is like Idiot's Corner. This is like a big throng of Idiot's Corner. I think half of Labour need investigating first. Andy Burnham gave his wife a £4 million contract. So that was to do something, right? That was to do something. So he gave her £4 million to do something. Okay. Rick Morty. I don't think that's your real name. And by that definition, that would also include 100% of Parliament, all in caps. And are you one jealous idiot? So this is another thing of the politics of jealousy. You're all just jealous. You're all jealous. Definitely getting nonce vibes from you. There you go. So you say that a politician has taken a bribe, and you get told that you're a paedophile. So there you go. What fraud did Farage commit by accepting the gift? Tony Parshole there, thinking that he's being clever. Another picture of a dog. So many pictures of dogs. It's funny that it's almost as though they don't want people to see what their faces look like. Your Prime Minister, and then a picture of their love, Nigel. He's welcome to it, as long as he takes the treacherous Labour Party down. He's welcome to a bribe. There you go. That's the morality of these people. It would be difficult to prove, as he wasn't an MP at the time. What? No. He was the owner of a political party. Yo. There you go. He wasn't even a politician, so then it's irrelevant. You see, that argument's not going to stand up in court, which is brilliant. And people going, vote reform. They're reading this going that he's corrupted, he should be in jail, and they're going, yeah, that's a reason to vote for him. This is amazing. This has got to go on all day. This is just, there's going to be a non-stop thing here. People laughing and yawning. Loads of laughing and yawnings. Loads of them. Wow, that's well said, that man. Thank you. I'm gonna like that one. Off you pop, cunt. Next. Okay. That's hilarious. Yes, very good from Spider-Man. I would agree with you, but then we both be dumb as I love this. All this abuse, and I earned $9.85 from all this, right? All these people calling me a paedophile and an idiot. It's got to be worth it, hasn't it? I wonder how long before the proposed PM will be in trouble too. I don't think he will be, because he's been in political life now for decades, and I don't think anyone's ever accused him of taking £5 million from a fucking crypto baron who launders Russian money for a living. Your country needs you to save our islands. Oh my God, these people. I think most of these are bots. I don't think most of these are actually real people. They're just people who just love a picture of their dog. There's another picture of the dog. And look at this, Tim Tucker, pure gam. Look at all that fucking gammony these gammony fuckers are. There's someone there. You should refer Burnham to ethics committee over his wife getting a contract. So I don't think you're real. I'm going to report your profile. Something about this profile. I think it's fake. They're not a real person. Submit. Bye-bye. Next. Cool. So there you go. How are you getting on there? Did you get you're a man comments? No, I don't think that would be an insult. I don't know. There was some post a picture of your dog pages, which are proved to be mining photos for fake for sale pages. Guess a lot of bots use the source of fake profile photos. Yeah. But someone's paid a lot of money for this. I'm getting $9 out of it, but someone has paid a lot of money for all of these bots to respond to this in this way. If you have evidence, then why don't you report it yourself? Stay strong, because it's be better coming from fucking the government, wouldn't it? Hey, yawn. Not look into thousands of girls being raped. Just because some crimes are being committed somewhere else doesn't mean you can ignore crimes that are being committed in front of you. But what about the crimes being committed elsewhere? Well, yeah, we'll get to them in a minute. Someone here with with her England flag, an England flag. There you go. Followed by 18 people. Imagine if every politician in power was investigated for the gifts and suspicious activities. There will be no one left. Well, Bradley, I'm sorry to say that I'm going to report your profile. Hopefully get you kicked off here. Something about this profile. I think it's fake. And I think they're not a real person. I'm going to submit it. Yay. Honestly, it's like Battlestar Galactica. Have Ukraine reached St. Petersburg with the drones yet? Imagine internet traffic will fall off if they do. Yeah. I mean, I think they can. Oh, fuck off, you nonce. There you go. That's not what that character says in the movie Office Space, but, whatever. First thing to do is call an election. Why do you need an election? I mean, we've never had an election before. We've had to change a leader. Why do you need one now? It's like, should we have an election should we have a by-election for those refuckers who came across from the Tory party? No? Okay, shut up then. Should we have a Guinness Book record, 5 million gift? Yeah, I think it is. There you go. People like you are why this country's on its knees. Yeah. It is on its knees. Obviously sucking the cock of Nigel Farage. Show me a politician that has left office with less wealth than before they entered politics. It's a corrupt system that has been in place forever. So that's Rob there, making the case for Wales, apparently, saying that it's just the way the system is. Every politician gets £5 million off a cryptocurrency guy. 5 million isn't exactly top of the issues list. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it definitely should be. It's okay, mate. You just spend your life gallivanting the world while we build and support the very infrastructure that allows you to do so. Oh, cheers, mate. Never mind. Move on. Not anyone's business. This is, each of these people is either a bot or they're being paid to do this. Think about how much money you would need for an operation like this. And this is just on one stupid post that I've put on Facebook has got this much traction because I said that Nigel Farage should go to jail. Just on one post. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? So many idiots. Yeah, over 3,000 now, mate. Over 3,000. Let's have a look. 3.4 thousand comments. People going, I love you, Nigel. But yeah, most of them aren't real. How do these bots operate? Are they programmed by humans who input a list of random obnoxious comments? I think it's all AI now. I think it's just all AI. I think they just have an AI agent set up, and it just spends its time. I think because Facebook has tried to push back a little bit on people making fake accounts. They've a little bit, only a little. It does need a human input to make the account, but once you've made it, you can do what you like with it. And there's a lot of big sale of like people who've had an account for a couple of years, they'll sell it to a bot farm so that it can, it's been around since 2019 or something, and so it looks more established than something that cropped up 2 weeks ago. Not just botch or shills, Graham. Most of them are just thickos regurgitating the usual right-wing buzzwords. Yeah, but the thing is, for some stuck, is that these people just don't manifest in real life. It's like the noise of the noise that they make is by far out of proportion than the number of people who are actually taking going out and voting. Hence why Refuck have only got a handful of MPs who actually voted in. Most of them came across from other parties. But there you go. So fucking hell. But yeah, that's all good. That's all good. Let's see my insights here. How much money? Oh, I've made $10.43. That's awesome. That look at that. Look at that. Yeah, looking at the breakdown. If there's anything here that's particularly personal. Here we go. And there you go. Total approximate earnings for people just for that lining up to call me a pedo. $10.43. Yes, I'm in the money. Views from followers, 1%. Views from non-followers, 99%. Age and gender. So over 60% of the people who responded over the age of 55. And then people who responded between the ages of 18 and 24 who don't use Facebook. It's like an old age, it's like an old person's home. Is 0.6%. But there you go. And there's been no link clicks because I didn't post a link. Maybe I should have done. Maybe I should post a link. Hey, come on here and tell me in person. 28 degrees in the shade and 37 in the direct sun here, says Warm and Peace. Jesus Christ. Quit your job, you've made it. I know. 10.43. 10.4. What the fuck? $10.43. Let's see how much that is. Let's see how much I've earned. What? £7.92. I'm in the money. Anyway, isn't that Growable's quote? Accuse others of what you are guilty. There's Gams accusing people of being pedos. Well, yes. That wouldn't surprise me given the look of them. Because I don't think that any grown woman would ever sleep with them willingly by the looks of them. Reply to what your Nigel said. Spent his $5 million on knee pads for disciples while they're getting shafted. How do you monetize Facebook? I don't know. And I'm not being facetious by saying that. I honestly don't know. I was given a blue tick years ago after got my Wikipedia page. And I therefore got a blue tick on Instagram and also on Threads off the back of that. And then about a month ago, I got a thing coming up saying you've earned like, I don't know, it was like $6 or something off your post. And I was like, what the hell is this? You've earned $6. And then I went in and it said, give us your bank details. And if it gets up to $25, we'll put $25 in your bank account. And I was like, okay. So they contacted me. I don't know if there's a thing that you can apply to do it, but I think because I had lots of interactions or something, I don't know. I don't even, I stopped using Facebook entirely at one point. It was during the 2020 election when I got banned for like a week for reposting an article from the Guardian website, and the words I wrote above the article was O, just literally OH full stop O, and it was about deforestation in the Amazon basin, and I got banned for a week. I was like, fuck this platform, and it was the week of the election with Trump and Biden. I didn't want to be off that week. Less tax, Graham. Don't be a Farage and not declare it. Yeah, that's true. I don't really pay much tax though, because you got to earn over 11,800 or is it 12,000 now before you start paying tax. So super chats are open, by the way. Can't live off insults alone. Gotta buy food. Anyway, so I've got knee pads. Can't stand the carpet burns. That's fair enough. Rachel Reeves has backed Andy to be the Prime Minister. going to have our first Scouse Prime Minister in 132 years, which I was quite excited about. And we're on 3.4 thousand comments now. Coming in thick and fast from the bot army. If I got the time, I'd go through and report every single one of them as a fake profile. What do you reckon? But then, if they got rid of them, I wouldn't earn so much money. Damn it. I feel conflicted now. Oh well, never mind. Pagan, don't tell them that they'll accuse the wind of coming over in small boats. What's this about the wind coming from the Sahara? Martin, I made that joke up in the 90s because my friend's mum is French. He didn't appreciate it. Everyone else did. What was this? Gams are frothing at the mouth? No. What was the joke? I missed the joke. Martin, a friend of mine, pulled a French girl. They were getting it on, and she kept shouting, wee wee, so he weed on her. Bloody language, Barry. That's awful. Ugh. Awful. I love it. Why can you never have 2 eggs for breakfast in France? Because in French, 1 egg is enough. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye for the moment. I'm going to probably come back this afternoon, maybe do a bit of writing, although I might be tempted to go out in the garden to do me writing this afternoon. But I might be back tonight. So do us a favour, give us a like before you go. We like a like on this channel. Sorry we didn't get the Boba Fetty in the end, but there's always next time. Give us a like, hit the bell notification icon if you're already subscribed. You're not subscribed, subscribe, obviously. And you'll get a little notification before we go live. Might do another episode of Graham Hughes Rights and Wrongs this afternoon, so you can heckle me while I try and write the sequel to Man of the World, Top of the World. It's 15 years late. Me and George R.R. Martin. We'll get around to it at some point. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. You've been amazing. Thanks for the super chats, as always. And until next time, I'll say thanks for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.